What the heck is a cockatrice? It's a bird, a very terrifying bird. Now this is where it gets weird, and I can understand what the evolutionists are talking about. But let's just explain how a creature like this can exist. Its evolution could be chalked up to various mutation, causing don't know how to pronounce the name to end up with a scaly tail, bird or bat-like wings, and a similar ability to squirt a corrosive liquid. The most simple and controversial idea, of course, is simply the result of a chicken and dragon crossbreeding, resulting in this abomination. But scientists can't create it in a lab, so it must be made up, right? It's only known in European folklore. It's often used interchangeably with the basilicus, although they are not technically the same animal. Similar to the basilicus, you're not going to see me 100 feet from the cockatrice without a rifle pointing towards it. Another creature known from mythology. What is a drake? Any four-limbed reptilian animal. Their evolution can be explained by non-avian dinosaurs, as well as lizards and crocodilians evolving dinosaurian characteristics such as leg positioning. And yes, crocodilians and lizards can rightfully be called drakes. Although they are predominantly known by fiction, drakes do exist, and I don't just mean in folklore and fiction. We call them ceratopsians, stegosaurs, hadrosaurs, ankylosaurs, iguanodontids, sauropods, crocodiles, lizards, and some of the reptiles we find in the Paleozoic and Jurassic. This is opposed to such. Why does this thing look like something from mythology? It even looks like modern depictions are trying to edit it to make it less dragon-like, as if they're trying to keep people from connecting the dots. The dragons raised in Chinese mythology could have very well been certain drake species, particularly the heavy-built ones. In fact, most of the dragons tamed in folklore and legend were likely drakes and neo-dinosaurs. Now I know what you're thinking. Why doesn't physical evidence exist? Maybe because we overlook it. Maybe because it was lost due to time. Maybe it's because our governments hide it in forbidden areas, or we see it, but it's explained from another perspective. These are the possibilities apart from just saying that it never existed. The dragons mentioned by Alexander the Great, St. John of Damascus, St. George, and several others, as well as many of the dragons slayed in folklore, may have also been drakes and neo-dinosaurs. Their ideal habit is anywhere there is food. We accept all sorts of ideas when it comes to humans and dragons. Everything except humans actually encountering them as actual creatures. And who are we to speak for the ancients saying that they only saw fossils and weaved stories? They knew what they were talking about. They were there. They saw it. And the only one thing that's getting in the way is our own modern understanding. These things are in essence large and elongated lizards with or without dinosaurian features. The most popular, the Chinese dragon. Although they don't have wings, they can glide by flattening their bodies just like some gliding snakes can. Some may have also had specially modified frills across their bodies that aided them to glide. It seems as though only Asia is known for the Eastern dragon, but there's an African cryptid known as don't know how to pronounce the name, closely resembling a lizard similar to the Asian dragon. Or maybe it is just another species of Asian dragon. Although people worship these animals as gods and added supernatural elements to them, the creature itself is naturalistically explainable. The most unusual of all dragons, the Hydra is known for its ability to regrow its head upon it being cut off. It's predominantly known in ancient Greece. Its evolution is quite easy to explain. Any long-necked reptilian creature can successfully grow an extra neck and head with no complications, so it's not out of the question for two-headed reptilians to successfully live in the world. Now let's get straight to the 4 to 8 headed ones. My best guess is that at some point, their spinal area evolved another brain. Over time, this brain starts to take over various jobs of the body, while the other two brains begin to function more simply. Eventually, it takes control of the entire body, including the necks, and the necks begin to grow longer, as well as extra heads and necks growing out as well. The heads are now used as sensory devices to aid the creature to see, breathe, eat, communicate, etc. The brain and each head are nothing more than organs used to give each head their personality and consciousness. The extra length of the necks would loosen the stress that would come to the vertebrate if the heads were too close. Regrowing their head is simply a unique ability that isn't found on any living animal today. The key to all of this is that the main brain is not in the heads, but in the body. Lindworms are two-limbed lizards, with some ancient families reaching dinosaur proportions. Like drakes, lindworms may have been a very common dragon that was killed in folklore. This creature is found all over medieval bestiaries, which means the creature itself has been reported all over the Eastern Hemisphere. However, I've read a report of a lindworm-like reptile in Tennessee back in 1794, known as the Cumberland Dragon. There are also two-legged dragons in ancient art in Mexico, so it makes sense that lindworms existed in the Americas too. What's amazing is that some lindworms like this guy have dinosaurian legs and a tail acting as a counterbalance, very much like theropods. Others have a very long tail, maybe used for constricting or as a whip. Some could slither like a snake and walk with their legs. And then we have these little guys. The dragons described by Marco Polo in his book The Adventures of Marco Polo, which is non-fiction by the way, were not crocodiles or dinosaurs. They were gigantic lindworms with dinosaurian characteristics, which goes against the less controversial but lazy and ancestrally insulting conclusion that claims the dragons seen by Marco Polo were just unusual crocodiles. Really, mainstream media?